Okay, guys, let's go over a review over what we were doing today. So if I were to write a polynomial function of a third degree using the roots of 2, 4, and -3. First of all, if it says a third degree one, that means that when I'm done, x to the third has to be the highest exponent variable that you have. And if these are my roots, I start out by taking each one of these and setting it equal to x. So x equals 2, x equals 4, and x equals -3. Now, in order to be able to go through and multiply them, to deal with them, I have to make it equal 0. So if it's +2, it's going to be x minus 2. If it's +4, it's going to be x minus 4. If it's -3, it's going to be x plus 3. Now, those three pieces that I have put boxes around are going to be the three pieces that I need to multiply together into order to find this polynomial. So since they all have 2 terms apiece in each one, I'm going to start multiplying the first 2 first. Once I get an answer, I'll deal with the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the box method. Okay, so x times x is x squared. X times -2 is -2x. -4 times x is -4x. And -4 times -2 is +8. So the only like terms I see are right there. So it's going to be x squared. -2 and -4 are going to give me -6x plus 8. Okay, now I need to take this and multiply it by the one that I didn't use. So these two. So I'm going to have to go down here and use the box method again. Since this has more terms, I'm going to put it across the top. So x squared minus 6x plus 8 and then x plus 3 down this side. So x times x squared is x to the third. X times -6 is -6x squared. X times +8 is +8x. +3 times x squared is +3x squared. +3 times -6 is -18x. +3 times +8 is +24. Now, if I look at these diagonals, those are kind of like terms. So let's put them together. So x to the third is the first one. Then -6 plus 3 is -3. So the x squared goes with it. -18x plus 8x is -10x plus 24. And this is going to be your function. Now remember, if I'm doing this, and I put this in my calculator, and I use that menu 3-1, then I should get back from it zeros of 2, 4, and -3. So you should be able to check yourself all the way through. Okay, let's try one that's got some imaginary numbers in there, which is a little bit of our work today. So we're going to write a polynomial. With a degree of 3. And it can have different degrees. I'm just trying to give you a basic one to look at. And let's say with roots of 0, and 2i. So if I start this, if it's a degree of 0 and of 2i, remember with the 2i, you're going to have to do the positive version of that and the negative one. So let's get them all set up with x equals. So x equals 0, x equals positive 2i, and x equals negative 2i. Now this one is the only one that's good to go because it has 0 already. We've got to get the other ones to equal 0 so we can multiply them together. So if this is positive 2i, it's going to be minus 2i. If it's negative 2i, it's going to be plus 2i. And these three pieces that are in the box, I'm going to have to put together to multiply to get my polynomial. Now, we said in class, these are probably the two best ones to start out with because ultimately, we do not want to have an I when we're left over. So I'm hoping if I multiply those two together, I can get rid of it. Whatever I get when I'm done, I'm going to have to multiply by the x on the outside. So let's set up the box method. So x minus 2i x plus 2i, so x squared minus 2ix plus 2ix minus 4i squared. So I can tell those cancel. So I'm left with x squared minus 4i squared. But remember, we said I squared was equal to negative 1. So we're going to put that 1 in there. Now, negative 1 and negative 4, when I multiply them together, give me positive 4. So this is my final piece. Now, I still haven't multiplied it by x, so I'm going to have to take this down and multiply it by x. Now, if you want to set up the box method to do that, it's perfectly fine that you do that. I just want to make sure that you're good with getting the answer. So on this one, you could probably distribute it pretty easy. It just means everything in the parenthesis gets one more x. So x times x squared is x to the third. X times positive 4 is positive 4x. And then that will be my final function. Okay, go over the other ones we did in class, and let's do some practice so you'll be ready tomorrow.